Just wondered if you could tell us your sort of overriding emotions and feelings after that, please.
Yeah, feelings of I feel very emotional, very disappointed, sad, dejected, loads of different things that of course are difficult emotions to feel. Feel very, very sorry for our supporters tonight. My thoughts are with them, especially as they haven't been able to be with us during the second or the last part of the season, and they can't share this moment with us.
What is the biggest regret you have from this? Is it obviously you got 2 wins in the last 5 games? Was it just too little, too late, or was there anything you maybe could have done differently?
Yeah, loads of things, of course, with hindsight that you would do differently. Love to have the games again, especially post lockdown, because our early results weren't good enough. Early performances after lockdown weren't good enough, and ultimately that's probably cost us, because there's games we look at there and think if we've just got something from them, then it would have been very different. But that's one of the beauties of football and in life. You can't go back. You just have to learn from what's happened, and certainly there's a lot to reflect on.
Thank you.
Andrew McDonnell.
Hi, Eddie. First, commiserations. Disappointing afternoon despite the win at Goodison. Just how much are you and the team hurting right now?
Yeah, in terms of feelings and emotions, this has been the hardest moment of my career, I think. I know the players are hurting. I saw the dressing room. I was with the players, albeit not for too long. They're all very, very disappointed with what's happened. Not so much today, but obviously during the season we haven't been good enough. So it's a very solemn place at the moment.
Having done all you could do today, how aware were you of what was going on at the London Stadium in those final stages?
Yeah, very aware, because on the scoreboard here, the scores were sort of rotating through the game. So two big scoreboards, so that the scores were flashing up, and so all the players would have been aware. We were aware. There was no hiding from it. I thought with that considered, I thought the players dealt with it very well. We performed very well today. It was an excellent team performance, one of our best performances in a long time. And when you look at the team today, you think, never a team that's going to be relegated, but that is the reality, and that's what we have to deal with.
How tough will it be to keep this group of players together?
Yeah, I think all those type of questions are for another day. I think for now it's about obviously what fate we've suffered, and trying to deal with that.
So how determined are you to get Bournemouth back into the Premier League as quickly as possible?
Well, I'm determined for Bournemouth to get there, back into the Premier League. In terms of the future and what it looks like, again, that's for another day.
Okay, thank you.
Dan Rose from the Bournemouth Echo.
Hi, Eddie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dan.
Eddie, commiserations on today. Obviously, you spoke about the emotions of the occasion there. I know throughout all the success you've had with the club, you tried not to get too high with the highs and too low with the lows. I know it's hard not to get too low now, but how do you deal with it emotionally over the next few days to come back and, like you say, learn from it?
Yeah, well, there's a lot to take in, because, as I said, it wasn't just about today. It was about the season as a whole. It's been a very difficult season, a hugely frustrating one from my perspective, because we haven't hit the standard of performance that we would expect or have come to expect from this group of players over a long period of time. So there will be a period of reflection, but it can't be too long, because obviously the next season rolls into it very quickly.
Premier League's so intense, and like you say, things are rolling on so quickly. Will you take a couple of days to refresh your mind? Will you be able to do that yourself personally? Will that be hard? Or?
Well, I think the next step for me is to speak to the owner and the board of directors and see where we go from here. We need to have a strong vision of the future. So I think that's the next step.
You mentioned the fans at the start of the interview there as well. So many highs with them as well. You say obviously it's tough that they can't share this moment with you. I know you asked pre-match for a message for them. Is there a message you'd like to directly give them now?
Yeah, 100%. I would. I'd like to say sorry on behalf of, from me really, that we haven't been good enough this year, and we haven't been able to stay in the Premier League, which I know every Bournemouth supporter wanted us to do. So, deeply sorry for that. As the manager, I take full responsibility for it. I think that's my message to them.
Finally, for me, your players, you've built that tight-knit squad together and everything like that. There's obviously going to be talk about if players are going to come and go and everything like that. But that squad as a whole, how talented do you feel they can still be? And there's so much talent there to still get back into this top division, isn't there?
There's some incredibly talented players within the squad. I think we've been through a big transitional period in the last 18 months, really, from a very settled squad. We suddenly had to make, due to injuries and everything else, a lot of changes to the personnel. So I think there's a lot of young players who we've yet to see the best of, and I think that's a very exciting prospect for the future.
Okay, Peter Rutzler from The Athletic.
Hi Eddie, considerations for today. Just the one from me. How do you? I mean, it might be too soon to really reflect on this, but how do you reflect on Bournemouth's 5 years in the Premier League? I mean, when you first took over all the way back in 2009, nobody could have foreseen this, and I'm sure it will hurt right now, but those 5 years have been extraordinary for the club. So, how would you reflect on them?
There's been so many great moments within the 5 years. I think we really attacked the Premier League. We gave it our best shot. I think it was an incredible ride, an incredible journey. And when I say we, I really mean not just the players and everyone that played their part on the pitch, but the supporters as well. I think we were great for the Premier League. And such a small club can hold its own at the level. I think we were inspiration for a lot of other clubs looking at us from the lower leagues. And that's why it's so disappointing to come to this end.
Okay, and Paul Joyce, please.
Eddie, does the turnaround from this season to next season, will that have any influence on your decision at all? Because we're talking a matter of weeks, really.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for me to comment on that. I think I just need to speak to, as I say, the people in control here at Bournemouth and see their vision and see the best way forward for the football club.